Hello, I'm Scott with Shoms Photography, and today we're going to talk about the Godox MS300. I had a few of these sent to me, and I figured I'd do a review. Just so you know, I don't want it to be a biased review. I'm going to give you my honest opinion on these. Here we have the BY180B. These are Godox first strobes. This little unit here is 17 years old. I got these because the guy said that you couldn't take good pictures with cheap Chinese strobes. And before Godox became a name in the photography business, this is one of their first strobes. So it's nothing fancy. It has a universal mount, which actually the modifiers slide over the top and then screw lock onto this system. It has a halogen modeling light. It has a little dial on the back and a sync cable. There's no beep sound to this, so if I fire this, the only way to tell that this is fully recycled is the little green light in the back. So I can go and fire this. So right now it's at 1-to-1 power, and I can just fire it, and you can see it's just flashing, but it's not fully recharged every time I flash that. It has a sync cable here in the back. You can get the RT16 by Godox, which is 2.4 gigahertz pin receiver and cable that plugs into the 1/8 inch jack back there for syncing, or you can use the X1 receiver with a sync cable to fire these, or you can use the slave cell. All right, let's go straight over here. This, you can see, is about almost the size of this, but again, this is 180 and this is 300, and this also comes in a 200 model, so you can get this one in a 200 model as well. It has a 150 watt modeling light, which does pretty good. It's not super bright, but it works. You have your flash tube that is extended out from this unit, just like the old CL600s or the RSP600s by Godox would be the name of that. They made the tube out further, so therefore it would extend into the modifier and go past the Bowen's insert ring. So that's the reason why it's extended out like that. So you can get the maximum spread inside the modifier. Again, this is a Bowen's mount. It has a release up here. Let's flip it to the back. We have an LCD screen back here. You can see this little light's flashing. That means that it's ready. You have to dump it before it would be at this power right here. So now it's dumped. Now any shot after this, I'll be at 1/8 power. So fire at 1/8 power, fire at 1/8 power. If I turn it up to full power, it's ready to go. It has a 1.8 second recycling time. So if you're using the beep sound and you know you're using a 200 or 600 as your main and fill light, their recycling time is a little bit faster than this at full power. So if these are at full power on the background, you might want to have the beep on, so then that way you know when you can take your next shot. But again, it's a pretty loud beep too, so it's pretty annoying. So I just turn it off. Fire it again. You have your modeling light button. This one here, when you first press it, it'll control with the power of the unit. If you press it again, it'll go into percentage mode, or not percentage mode, but yeah, percentage mode. You can go from 1 to 5. If you want to know anything about these buttons, I would highly recommend watching Robert Hall's video. He goes over all the buttons and explains all the functions of this unit. So let's turn the modeling light off. You have your slave 1, your slave 2. Again, he'll explain that in his video. You have your group button and your channel button. If you long press, you'll go into the channel button. If you short press, you'll go into the group button. So basically you can just change it from here. And again, I'd highly recommend Robert Hall's video to watch that. It has a dummy toggle switch display up here. So if you're using like the XT16, it has the toggle switches. You can look at that and then set it so you're on the right channel. You have your USB here. That's so if you want to go into the old 488 megahertz system, you can use the old USB receiver. And if you're still using the older system, if you're not using the X system. But if you're using the X system, you don't need to use the pin receiver, or I mean the USB receiver. You also have your 1/8 sync jack here. So if you're using a different manufacturer's Strobes, you can actually use their sync receiver to this unit. Again, this can be fired using the XT16, the XT32, the Pro, and the X1. If you're looking for more features that you won't get out of any of the stock Godox triggers, you can actually get the Flashpoint Pro Mark II, which looks like this, but has more features to it. So it has Bluetooth, it has fire and independent strobes and groups, and also you can actually adjust the modeling lights independently through that unit, where this one just turns them on or turns them off. Again, if you're looking for a small unit, you can take these on location with you. Say you're going to do corporate portraits and stuff like that. Nice, compact, portable. You don't have to worry about recharging batteries because it's powered. It does come with it's pretty much an 18-foot AC power cable on there, and it's pretty beefy. I think it's a lot more beefier than what it needs. It's overkill on that, because again, this one here would probably power it just fine, because again, it's not a high powered strobe, but it's better to have a beefier cable than not. Again, if you're looking for something small, this might be the flash for you. Again, my name is Scott with Shoms Photography, and thank you for watching.